Greetings, it is I, Tantus Naravan Dracovin, Lord and Emperor of the Dracovin Empire, and welcome. It is time to continue our discussion on the EARTHDAWN Roleplaying game system. When we last left off, we were diving into combat and the types of actions you take in combat. Let's finish up with the last type of action and talk about resolving actions. So the last type of action you will take is the free action. The free action is a type of action that you will be using in conjunction with another type of action. There is no type of action that will be listed anywhere that will be referred to on its own as a free action. That's why free actions are never listed. Free actions are made to be something that you enhance another action with said free action, and they come in two main formats. Free actions, which allow you to basically increase damage, or free actions that allow you to react to the action of another player. Think of it this way. As a general rule, you'll only be rolling one skill check or you'll be only making one talent check or one skill check per every action you're doing. Though enhancing it with said free actions could be done, you just couldn't add any extra dice rolls to this traditionally. And these again are just the main free actions that you have. There could be others that are listed in other places, but just remember they are an action enhancer. That's what a free action is. We'll talk about resolving actions, because the fact is, you roll your initiative, everybody gets an order. You basically declare your actions. The GM takes turns calling out numbers, going down the list from highest to lowest, and basically, whenever your number is called, you act on that initiative. You choose your action. You basically figure out what your action test is. You roll your appropriate action dice. You resolve said action. Before the next player starts up their action, you resolve yours. That's the same for everyone. Their actions get resolved before you move on to the next one. And you keep going down the line until everyone's is properly resolved in the course of your initiative turn, of all the turns, of the phases, of the combat. Now there are two special things you can do here. Let's talk about the first one. Now instead of acting on your turn, you can decide that you're going to prepare for someone else to be acting and react according to them. Perhaps you're going to react in a way that's going to influence their action, cancel their action, maybe not even do anything to it. What we're talking about here is referred to as a readied action. So for a readied action, I will describe some form of special event that's going to trigger my action that I'm setting up. Basically, I figured out an action I want to do, I prepped for it, and then I've readied that action. When the appropriate trigger occurs during the turn, when this event occurs during the turn, I can choose to then take the action I have readied. This effectively will interrupt the character that would be taking an action. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move my initiative from where I had successfully gotten on the test earlier, and I'm going to reduce it to the person who's triggering the event's turn. Except I'm putting my initiative then slightly in front of him. So maybe he was at 20, I'm also at 20, but I'm slightly before him on that 20. And that way, I will act first, do my action, which might cancel his, might interfere with his, might do something to his, might not. And then that person will return to their normal schedule, their normal kind of initiative, do their action if they can still do it. They might, of course, have to change it, take the penalty. Now, readying action does require intense concentration. So if I ready an action, any difficulties for any dice rolls I make when I've readied it increase by 2, because I'm concentrating and getting ready and preparing myself mentally for this, so it does make it a little bit more strained to actually get it out there properly. Now, the other thing you can do is you can decide that on your initiative turn, you want to wait for another event, another action to resolve. If I want to do this, I can basically give up my initiative pass for another one. I'm delaying. That's what a delaying action is. I'm basically choosing on my turn not to act, instead to wait around for something to occur that then I reinsert myself back into the initiative at a new initiative point after I decide to input after it. So after an action has resolved, that's when I place myself in. Not before it, like I did with the readied action. The delayed action puts me in after that initiative. Now, the advantage is if I choose to delay and I wait until the end of the turn, Then in the beginning of the next turn, I am allowed to insert myself at the highest initiative, basically one number higher than whoever rolls the highest initiative, because I delayed into that round. I could still roll. That's still an option. Both of these things are things you can do when you've delayed into another turn. But effectively, I wait for someone to do something, then I act. Or again, I could just delay into another turn to get a better initiative. If my initiative really sucks, and maybe it matters that I'm the first on the initiative. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But that's it for today. I talked a little bit more details about the actions you could take with talking about the free action, which is not really an action on itself. It's sort of an action, but it's really an action modifier that you do with another action to, or best examples are to increase damage or to interfere with someone else's actions. Those are the two main ones, but there are other free actions you can do. It's just those are the two normal free actions you will be doing. Then I began to talk about, of course, resolving your actions. I basically went over that everybody resolves their actions one at a time down the list. You roll your dice pools, you get your results, you're making your tests, you're figuring everything out, next person go. But that's not the easiest way you can do it. There's other ways you can do it, because guess what? Two special types of things you can do here. The ready, where I choose an event, I prepare for it, and then I interrupt that event and take my action. Or delay, where I kind of just wait until after an event occurs and then reinsert myself into the initiative. Basically, two actions I can take to remove myself from initiative and then put it back in at another point in time. And basically either react to it or supersede an action. In the next episode, we are going to talk about the charge action and move into resolving attacks. We're going to actually start talking about attacking more than just the general actions. Yay! But if you have any questions, comments, anything you say, anything you think I left out, please leave in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. It shows support the channel, the empire, the work I do. If you want to show some extra support, you can always check out my Patreon. Link in the description below. There's some great rewards there. It helps to grow and improve the channel. But regardless, until the next time, I bid you farewell.